Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. Respected elders, brothers, friends, ladies, we are here for this special program of Qasidah Burdah, Burdah Sharifa. This is to increase within us the love of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How much do we love our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam? Are we anywhere close to our mashayikh, ulama, sulaha, awliyaullah? Are we anywhere close to the elders, muhaddithin, fuqaha, mujtahideen, and their elders, tabi'een, tabi'een, and their elders, sahaba, ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een? Imagine how much the sahaba loved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They loved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to bits. They couldn't stay without him. One sahabi would often feel at unrest, come and just have a look at Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he would feel relaxed, at ease. And then he would get some sleep. One sahabi asked a question, Ya Rasulullah, something's been bugging my mind. Over here, you are among us. When we feel uneasy, we come see you, we get relaxed. When you go in Jannat, you will be somewhere up there and I'll be somewhere down there. I won't be able to see you. What good is that Jannat where I can't see you? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends Jibreel alayhi salam down. Huzur remained silent. He didn't say anything. And the verse is revealed, وَمَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reads it to him and tells him that inshallah we'll meet there as well like we meet here. So similar life. Jannat life is similar to this worldly life, except it's on another advanced level. So Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een held him very dearly, loved him. He also said to them, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. He should be more beloved to us than our parents, our children, and all human beings, which include our partners, our friends, our hobbies, our jobs, businesses, money, property. Everything should be second, he should be first. This course is kept so that we can increase that love. Every Muslim loves Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, be it a little bit up and down, more and less, but everybody has love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But when we study Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hear about him, talk about him, hear some nasheeds, then you can feel the level of Iman increasing. May Allah reward Maulana Muhim Saheb, Maulana Muzammil Saheb, Maulana Imran Saheb, and everyone who organized the program, and make the program beneficial for all of us. This kitab is called Qasidah Burdah. Qasidah means nasheed, poetry, poem, and Burdah means sheet, chadar. It's called Al-Burdah for some reason. One reason could be that Burdah is a chadar, a sheet, which has embroidery on it. You must have seen them Kashmiri shawls, beautiful with embroideries all around. Looks so nice, beautiful. So this poem is also beautified with beautiful couplets. So it's like a sheet with embroidery. Number two, the main reason for Burdah is the story behind it. In short, you can read it in this introduction here. The author, Imam Busiri Rahmatullahi alayhi, had been working throughout his life in various places. He used to work for the rulers, compose poetry for them. Then towards the end of his life, he was struck by a stroke, paralysis. He was bedridden. He had composed some beautiful poetries in praise of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So once again this thought came to his mind, why should I not compose some poetry and praise Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the shafa'at and intercession, intermediary of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, perhaps Allah can give me shifa. And he composed this poetry. In there he said, خدمته بمديح أستقيل به ذنوب عمر مضى في الشعر والخدم يا أكرم الخلق مالي من ألوذ به سواك عند حلول الحادث العمم ولن يضيق رسول الله جاهك بي إذا الكريم تجلى باسم منتقم فإن لي ذمة منه بتسميتي محمدا وهو أوفى الخلق بالذمم, in which he pleaded to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, he was bedridden, unable to move. One side is paralyzed, unable to go out. And he was attended to, and he used, one hand was okay, so he used to write with one hand. And he had kept this poetry under his pillow. Nobody knows what he is writing. So one night he sees Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam in a dream. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam is seated. Sahaba, Tabi'een, many elders are around him. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam says to him, read that poem. And he starts reading this Qasidah al-Mimiyya. أمن تذكر جيران بذي سلمي مزجت دمعا جرى من مقلة بدمي أم هبت الريح من تلقاء كاظمة أو مضى البرق في الظلماء من إظمي, until he comes to محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم نبينا الآمر الناهي فلا أحد أبر في قول لا منه ولا نعم دع ما ادعته النصارى في نبيهم واحكم بما شئت فيه مدحا واحتكم فإن فضل رسول الله ليس له حد فيعرب عنه ناطق بفمي. And he continues. And he comes to that share where he says, فَإِنَّهُ خَيْرُ خَلْقِ اللَّهِ كُلِّهِمِ. And he stops. And Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, keep going. And he finds the courage to read that couplet. فَإِنَّهُ خَيْرُ خَلْقِ اللَّهِ كُلِّهِمِ. And Huzur said, you have spoken the truth. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is خَيْرُ خَلْقِ اللَّهِ. When he finishes this poetry, which has about 160 ashar, 150 to 60 ashar. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam is very happy. He passes his hand over him and he puts a cloak on him. He takes his chadar off and puts it on him. This was, the habit of the previous people. If you do something nice to them, they give you some gift. So Huzur gave him the chadar as a gift. Put it on him. Dream finished. When he woke up, he couldn't feel any pain in the hand and his hand was moving. And he got up from the bed. He went to do istinja wuzu himself. And he prayed his tahajjud namaz. He set off to the masjid for fajr namaz. Now, people ask him on the way, Hazrat, are you okay? Your janazah should be going to the graveyard and you're running to the masjid. He says, forget it, I'll tell you later. He goes to masjid, prays fajr, does shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he's returning, one of the mashayikh see him on the road and he says, Idhar aao, come here. वो poem sunao, poetry, share sunao. कौन सा वो Qasidah Mimiya? How do you know about the Qasidah Mimiya? And he says, last night in that majlis of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when you were reading it, I was there as well. This is mulaqatul arwah, meeting of the souls in the upper world, Malaya Ala. Many times this happens, many incidents of this type. So, iltiqa'ul arwah. The one hadith in Musnad Ahmad says, Inna ruhayil mu'minayni layaltaqiyani wa baynahuma masiratu shahrin wa ma ra'a ahaduhuma sahibahu. The souls of two believers meet, though between them is a fasla, a gap of maybe baynahuma masiratu yawmin wa laylatin. A day and night is the gap, and they haven't seen one another, but their souls meet. Sometimes they interact. So this is the connection of the arwah. And this connection is sometimes in the alami arwah, in the world of dreams as well. There's this book about Khulafai Rashidin. Sayyiduna Ali Karramullah Wajhahu's incident is narrated in there. He says, one night, it was the era of Sayyiduna Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu, Khilafat. Huzur had passed, Abu Bakr Siddiq had passed, Sayyiduna Umar was the Khalifa. Sayyiduna Ali Karramullah Wajhahu says, I saw a dream that in the dream, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam led Fajr Salah in Masjid Nabawi Sharif. And after Fajr, he turned around facing the people and he was busy doing his azkar awrat. One lady came with a basket of dates and presented it to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam accepted the gift, thanked her, and then he indicated to Sayyidina Ali karramullah wajhu and gave him 2 dates. They were very big in size and very sweet and tasty. Sayyidina Ali karramullah wajhu says, I woke up from the dream. I came to the masjid for Fajr Salah. Sayyiduna Umar, Khalifatul Muslimin, led the Fajr Salah. And after Fajr Salah, he turned around, faced people exactly in the same manner that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam was in the dream. And while he was busy in his azkar and awrad, a lady came with a basket of khajur dates and presented. And Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu thanked her. Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu gestured to Hazrat Ali karramullah wajhahu and gave him 2 dates. They were really nice, big, large and sweet. Sayyidina Ali said, can I have some more? And Sayyidina Umar replied, if Rasulullah had given you more, I would have given you more as well. Now imagine, how did Hazrat Umar know that Hazrat Ali had this dream? Is the mulaqat of ruh up there in the world of dreams. So this liqa is another world. The spiritual world is an ajib, amazing world. Since we are at a huge distance from it, we are in this small world of dunya, job, money, busy. And then when we get free time, we're on mobile, social media, all these connections. So we don't understand that spiritual world. We need to come down this side. Some azkar, awrad, faraiz, nawafil, tilawat, tasbihat, darood, salam, astaghfar. When we slowly progress, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us. So this is the story behind Al-Burdah Sharifa, that Huzur gave him that chadar in the dream. This is why this poem is known as Qasidah, Burdah, the poem of the sheet chadar. We see that our mashayikh have paid great attention to this poetry. In our madaris, this was taught in the curriculum. In Deoband, Saharanpur, and other places, it was part of the curriculum, like we did Qasasun Nabiyyin, and then Maqamat and Sabah Muallaqa. So this used to be taught as in Ilmul Adab. We should teach it now as well, and teach it to the general public as well. Hazrat Maulana Ilyas Sahab Rahmatullah alayhi used to say, Shiyamul Habib और कसीदा बुर्दा का मुताला उलमाए किराम के लिए ज़रूरी है. अव्वल से हुजूर अक़दस सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की हकीकत मुनकशिफ होगी और सानी से ताल्लुक़ पैदा होगा. Shiyamul Habib and Qasida Burda should be studied, and I could add the word should be taught as well, because with the Shiyamul Habib we will understand the reality of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, haqiqat, meaning his akhlaq, adat, behavior, his maqam, status in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shiyamul Habib is about Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It's short and it's very nice compilation. So this will explain to you the status of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And Qasida Burda will get you connected to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. With regards to eulogy and praise of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, many qasaids have been written. Musannif Allama Busiri rahmatullah alayhi himself has written Al-Qasidatul Muhammadiyya. Muhammadun, over here he said Muhammadun Sayyidul Kawnaini was Thaqalain wal Fariqaini min Urbin wa min Ajami. And in the Qasidah Muhammadiyya, every couplet starts with Muhammad. Muhammadun Ashraful A'rabi wal Ajami, Muhammadun Khayru man yamshi ala qadami, Muhammadun Basitul Ma'rufi Jami'uhu. If you open this kitab, it's on page number 68. Muhammadun Sahibul Ihsani wal Karami, Muhammadun Taju Ruslillahi Qatibatan, Muhammadun Sadiqul Aqwali wal Kalimi, Muhammadun Thabitul Mithaqi Hafizuhu, Muhammadun Tayyibul Akhlaqi wal Shiyami, محمد رويت بالنور طينته محمد لم يزل نورا من القدم محمد حاكم بالعدل ذو شرف محمد معدل الإنعام والحكم محمد خير خلق الله من مضر محمد خير رسل الله كلهم محمد دينه حق ندين به محمد مجملا حقا على علم. And the Qasidah goes on. There are many others who composed poetry. Among the first to compose poetry in praise of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is Sayyiduna Hassan ibn Thabit radiyallahu anhu. You must have heard وَأَحْسَنَ مِنْكَ لَمْ تَرَ قَطُّ عَيْنِي وَأَجْمَلَ مِنْكَ لَمْ تَلِدِ النِّسَاءُ خُلِقْتَ مُبَرَّأً مِنْ كُلِّ عَيْبِ كَأَنَّكَ قَدْ خُلِقْتَ كَمَا تَشَاءُ. More beautiful than you, my eyes have not seen, and more handsome than you, no woman has given birth to. You were created free from all blemishes, as though you were created the way you wanted to be created. He also said, ضم الإله اسم النبي إلى اسمه إذا قال المؤذن في الخمس أشهد وشق له من اسمه كي يجله فذو العرش محمود وهذا محمد. Khuda, Allah joined Muhammad's name with his name when Muazzin says 5 times Ashhadu. And Allah extracted Muhammad's name from his name. So the Lord of Arsh is Mahmud and he is Muhammad. So this poetry was sung in the presence of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was there, he was seated there. He would tell Hassan to sit on the mimbar and sing the poetry. And he would say, Jibreel is with you, Jibreel is supporting you, helping you. And this was needed because the mushrikeen used to criticize Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in poetry, satire. So there needed to be some reply to their criticism. So Hassan ibn Thabit radiyallahu anhu was the best in this field. Others tried to defend Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, but he was not happy with their poetry. He said, no, I want something better. No, I want something better. When Abu Sufyan wrote some poetry from Makkah and sent it here, Huzur said to Sahaba, iska jawab do. And Abdullah ibn Rawaha said some couplets. Huzur said, no. Ka'b ibn Malik composed some poetry. He said, no, that's not good enough. They called Hassan. Hassan was called and he was coming. He said, Ya Rasulullah, Sher ki bari aa gayi hai. Lion is here now. I'm going to slaughter them and skin them like the goat is skinned. So Huzur Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Hassan, take it easy. My nasab is among them as well. Make sure you don't criticize me whilst you're criticizing them. Because Abu Sufyan, there's 2 Abu Sufyans. One is Abu Sufyan ibn Harb, who was the warrior, lieutenant, Fauji general. And the other is Abu Sufyan ibn al-Harith ibn Abdul Muttalib. He is Shair and he was cousin of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So we are both related. So if you try to criticize him, don't begin to start criticizing me. He said, go sit with Abu Bakr. He knows the Ansabul Arab properly, the lineages. So sit with him, learn our nasab from him, and then compose your poetry. So this is what Hassan ibn Thabit first did, and then he composed the poetry. He took Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam out from among them like hair is taken out from kneaded dough. And he criticized Abu Sufyan, his mother, his nani, nana, everyone, but not his dada, dadi. Otherwise the criticism would go on Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. So the poetry is in Muslim. هجوت محمدا فأجبت عنه وعند الله في ذاك الجزاء هجوت محمدا برا تقيا رسول الله شيمته الوفاء فإن أبي ووالدتي وعرضي لعرض محمد منكم وقاء أتهجوه ولست له بكفو فشركما لخيركما الفداء. And in those days, poetry was like mass media today. Media can make you or break you. They can take you high up the arsh or they can bury you beneath the farsh. So poetry was same. Because when ash'ar come, qasaid, then everybody is singing them. In the streets, in the market, even small kids are singing those poetries. So poetry was highly effective. This is why the kings and the rulers and the governors used to keep for them the best poets, and they used to give them lots of inam and gifts. So the poetry is gone and spread out and sung outside, and they are praised. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam had to defend his honor. He called upon Hassan, and Hassan ibn Thabit radiallahu anhu composed that poetry and defended Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He praised Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was really happy. And then we see later on Tabi'een, Tabi'een, Imam Zainul Abidin's poetry, who is the grandson of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, great grandson, son of Hussein, son of Ali radiallahu anhu. He says in there, إِنِّ الْتَيَارِيحَ الصَّبَا يَوْمًا إِلَىٰ أَرْضِ الْحَرَمِ بَلِّغْ سَلَامِي رَوْضَةً فِيهَا النَّبِيُّ الْمُحْتَرَمِ مَنْ وَجْهُهُ شَمْسُ الضُّحَى مَنْ ذَاتُهُ نُورُ الْهُدَى مَنْ كَفُّهُ بَحْرُ الْهِمَمِ قُرْآنُهُ بُرْهَانُنَا نَسْخًا لِأَدْيَانٍ مَضَتْ إِذْ جَاءَنَا أَحْكَامُهُ كُلُّ الصُّحُفِ صَارَ الْعَدَمِ. This is it. In fact, Hazrat Fatima radiallahu anha, Huzur's daughter, she was a very good poet as well. Upon the death of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, she said, مَاذَا عَلَى مَنْ شَمَّ تُرْبَةَ أَحْمَدَ أَلَّا يَشُمَّ مَدَى الزَّمَانِ غَوَالِيًا صُبَّتْ عَلَيَّ مَصَائِبٌ لَوْ أَنَّهَا صُبَّتْ عَلَى الْأَيَّامِ سِرْنَ لَيَالِيًا. Abu Sufyan ibn al-Haris later on embraced Islam in Fatih Makkah, and he did Tawbah, and then he used to praise Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam died, he composed poetry. Marsiya, أرقت وبات ليلي لا يزول وليل أخي المصيبة فيه طول فقدنا الوحي والتنزيل فينا يروح به ويغدو جبرائيل نبي كان يجلو الشك عنا بما يوحى إليه وما يقول أفاطم إن جزعت فذاك عذر وإن لم تجزعي فهو السبيل فقبر أبيك سيد كل قبر وفيه سيد الناس الرسول. So Abu Sufyan's poetry for Marsiya. So these ash'ar, sher shairi, I'm not translating because it would take a lot of time. So ash'ar, poetry has been there from day one. It's nothing new. So the more we praise Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the more we feel that closeness to him, and we feel like ittibai sunnat, reading salawat, Darud Sharif on him. So there's no harm in poetry. It's perfectly okay. We see among the shu'ara, Umar ibn Farid was a very highly ranked shair. And he said, أرى كل مدح في النبي مقصرا وإن بالغ المثني عليه وأكثرا إذا الله أثنى بالذي هو أهله عليه فما مقدار ما يمدح الورى أرى كل مدح في النبي مقصرا. I feel any praise in the praise of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam falls short. وَإِن بَالَغَ الْمُثْنِي عَلَيْهِ وَأَكْثَرًا. Even if the praising person goes into great length and says a lot, still it'll fall short. إِذَا اللَّهُ أَثْنَى بِالَّذِي هُوَ أَهْلُهُ عَلَيْهِ فَمَا مِقْدَارُ مَا يَمْدَحُ الْوَرَى. When Allah Himself is praising His beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, so how can the makhluk, human beings praise, get to that praise and his maqam which he deserves? Quran Sharif is full with the praise of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Last year during Rabi'ul Awwal, we had a daily program of our Rasul fil Quran. And throughout the 30 days, I went through every para, every juz, and the ayat of Risalat Nabuwat in praise of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from every juz for one day each. Was para, second para for 30 days. So on the internet you can listen to it. So Allah Himself is praising Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. How can we get to the highest rank of the praise which he deserves? Shaykh Sa'di Shirazi, Rahmatullahi alayhi, whose Rubai is very famous. بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله حسنت جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله. पढ़ो एक मरतबा दुरूद शरीफ सब दिल से पढ़ो. अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद कमा सल्लैत अला सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम व अला आलि सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद. अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद कमा बारकता अला सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम व अला आलि सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद. So Shaykh Sa'di Shirazi Rahmatullah alayhi, Balagh al-Ula bi Kamalihi, Huzur reached the highest rankings and status with his kamalat and perfection which Allah blessed him with. Allah gave him so much kamal. He was kamil, mukammal, akmal, as our Hazrat Maulana Bilal Sahib said in Thursday Bayan. He was not only kamil, he was akmal. He was the greatest. He has reached the greatest and height of perfection and kamal. Balagh al-ula bi kamalihi, kashafat duja bi jamalihi. He removed all the darknesses with his beauty. Huzur came and so much noor was spread around the world. नाम उनका जहां भी लिया जाएगा, जिक्र उनका जहां भी किया जाएगा, नूर ही नूर सीनों में भर जाएगा, सारी महफिल में जलवे लपक जाएंगे. When Huzur's name is taken, तो सारी महफिल में नूर भर जाएगा, सीनों में नूर आ जाएगा, सारी महफिल में जलवे लपक जाएंगे. हुजूर थे ही ऐसे. अल्लाह, क्या कहा वो शायर ने? कदम कदम पे बरकतें, नफस नफस पे रहमतें, जहां जहां से वो शफीए आसियां गुजर गया, जहां जहां गुजर हुआ वहीं वहीं सहर हुई, जहां गुजर नहीं हुआ वहीं है रात आज तक. कदम कदम पे बरकतें. At every step there is blessings and barakat. नफस नफस पे रहमतें. With every breath there is rahmat. जहां जहां से वो शफी आसियां गुजर गया, that interceder of the sinners, wherever he passed by, he spread so much barakat and rahmat and goodness. जहां जहां गुजर हुआ वहीं वहीं सहर हुई. Sahar means subh sadiq. Subh sadiq only happened, meaning the darkness was removed and light shone. The light of subh sadiq only shone where he passed by. जहां गुजर नहीं हुआ वहीं है रात आज तक. Where he didn't pass, there is night until today. And his passing means himself or his sahaba or his followers or his message, his Quran, his hadith. We are here in this country, Allah brought us here. Perhaps Allah wants to give some good to these people. Wherever Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's message goes, there is noor and light, and darkness of kufr and shirk is removed, and noor of iman and yaqeen is spread. So, this is what the shair is saying. And kashafat duja bi jamalihi, hasunat jami'u khisalihi. Hasunat jami'u khisalihi. All his khisal and sifat and attributes are beautiful. Beautiful. You look at his Shamail in Shamail Tirmidhi. Let's say, for example, his tawadu, humility, humbleness, his generosity, and his good behavior and akhlaq, and whatever good akhlaq you can think of, smiling nature and giving preference to others over himself, giving preference to akhirat over dunya, his teaching, his education, educating people, going around, inviting people, sitting in majalis, teaching Quran, teaching Muslim Masail, going in the path of Allah, spending time. Everything he did was up to the highest state of perfection. This is why we've been told to emulate him, copy him, be like him. The closer we are to him, the closer we will be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why Shaykh Saadi said, Hasunat Jami'u Khisalihi and Sallu alayhi wa alihi. When he is like this, then read the Sharif. Over here as well, Shaykh Saadi Shirazi rahmatullah alayhi once saw Hazrat Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam in his dream. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam is sitting, Sahaba, Tabi'een, many mashayikh are around him. And Shaykh Saadi comes, Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam welcomes him. And then Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, Saadi, apna kalam sunao. Read your kalam to me. And he said, which one? And he said, Balagh al-Ula. And he reads the 4 couplets, only 4 couplets. And Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam is moved. And he says, you've spoken the truth. Sahi kaha tumne. So ye basharat hai isme bhi. So this is about poetry. Shaykh Saadi Shirazi rahmatullah, I'm going to close now. Shaykh Saadi Shirazi rahmatullah alayhi says, Husni Yusuf, Dame Isa, Yade Bayza Dari, Aanche Khuba Hama Darand, Tu Tanha Dari. La yumkinu sana'u kama kana haqquhu, بعد از خدا توی بزرگ قصہ مختصر. حسن Yusuf, the beauty of Yusuf. Dam Isa, the dam and the blowing of Isa. Dam kar dete थे, अंधे को भी बीना कर देते थे, मुर्दा को जिंदा कर देते थे. तो दम ईसा और यदे बैज़ा दादी. यदि बैज़ा मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम बगल में हाथ डालते थे, निकाल देते तो हाथ सफेद, फिर डालते थे तो फिर ओरिजिनल स्टेटस में आ जाता. तो हुस्न यूसुफ दमे ईसा यदे बैज़ा दारी, आंचे खूबा हमा दारंद तू तन्हा दारी. The qualities and attributes which they had separately, they are all combined in you alone. لا يمكن الثناء كما كان حقه. His praise cannot be done as he deserves to be praised. بعد از خدا توی بزرگ قصہ مختصر. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are the greatest short story cut short. So this is how our elders held Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam in high esteem. Just one word of caution which Sahib Qasidah Burdah also states here, when he says, دعمت دعته النصارى في نبيهم واحكم بما شئت فيه مدحا واحتكمي فإن فضل رسول الله ليس له حد فيعرب عنه ناطق بفمي. Leave that which Nasara claimed regarding their Nabi. Other than that, you can decide whatever you want to say in his praise. Don't call him God or son of God. Leave that on one side. Other than that, you can praise him as much as you want. Because فَإِنَّ فَضْلَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ لَيْسَ لَهُ. The fazilat and manqabat and maqam and virtue and excellence of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam has no limits. That a person, a speaker can speak with his tongue. So you can say whatever you want, it won't be enough. Just don't say that he is God or son of God. Other than that, you can say whatever you want. So this is our akabir and their connection with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We move on to Qasidah Burdah. The biography of the author is mentioned in the kitab. You can read it. He was born in the year 608 after Hijrah and died in the year 696. at the age of 88. He was born in Egypt, Iskandariya. His childhood was spent there. He became Hafiz, Alim, like normally we go curriculum. He studied at various places like Azhar University, etc. It's mentioned there. And then after studying, becoming Alim. I'm saying this because you have to understand that he's not just a poet. Like sometimes many poets are not Alim. They don't know the basics of deen. And they compose poetry and they make mistakes. So we have to be careful from such poetry. Because there might be exaggeration, like what Sahib Qasidah Burdah said, they make him Khuda, that unme aur Khuda mein koi farq nahi hai, dono saath baithe हुए हैं, इस किस्म के अल्फाज बोल देते हैं नऊजुबिल्लाह. तो जो शायर इस तरह की बात कर दे तो उसको हम कहेंगे कि नो भाई, दिस इज रॉन्ग, नो दिस इज रॉन्ग, यू कांट से दिस टाइप्स ऑफ वर्ड्स. सो Sahib Qasidah Burdah, being a shair, he was also an alim, a scholar. He knew the basics of deen, aqidah, etc. Masail, fiqh, hadith, tafsir. And this is why his qasidah was accepted by the ummah, and many great legends wrote commentary on the qasidah. Nearly 150 commentaries are narrated for it. Look, I have brought some over here with me. I went through this as well, alhamdulillah. Very nice. Al-Raqm al-Burdah, Sharh al-Burdah al-Busiri, Al-Musamma al-Kawakib al-Durriya fi Madh Khayr al-Bariya. This is of Mullah Ali Qari rahmatullahi alayhi. Mullah Ali Qari, the great author, Mirqatul Mafati, he wrote this Sharah. This is Sharah of Allama Sayyid Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Ajibah al-Husayni, known as Ibn Achiba. And this is Sharah of Hazrat Maulana Mufti Razaul Haq Sahab, South Africa. It's in 2 large volumes. It's too long to read. Kal padhne ke liye baitha mein, so I just went through some important points which I needed. Otherwise, isko padhne ke liye bhi time chahiye. लेकिन ये तो ऐसे ही बोल, मैंने 150 शुरुआत हैं इसकी. तो ये जो उलमा हैं, इन्होंने शरह लिखी है, इनको पता नहीं था कि इसमें क्या है. Of course they knew what's inside. And Nauzubillah, these days some people say we shouldn't read Qasidah Burdah, there's shirk in there. We say, oh bhai, be careful. Right? Don't accuse someone of doing shirk. You know, these words will be very heavy, hard for you on the day of Qiyamah. Right? किसी को छोटी बात का इल्जाम नहीं लगा सकते. Right? झूठ होगा ना किसी के ऊपर थोड़ा छोटा. If you accuse someone of something small, you'll have to answer for it on the day of Qiyamah. So accusing someone of shirk is not something small, it's huge, man. So you can't say a Qasidah Burdah is shirk and the author was a mushrik, na'uzubillah. Be careful in that matter. If you don't understand some shairi, then go to someone who can explain it to you, but don't say that Qasidah Burdah is shirk. Why I'm saying this? Because, you know, when we used to go to Haramain Sharifain 30 years ago, first time I went to Haramain Sharifain was with my Hazrat Maulana Yusuf Mutala Sahab, Nawwallahu Maqaduhu, in 1983, when I was about to start my Dawra, finish Mishkat. And then we've been there several times. So in the streets and alleyways, there used to be, kutub khane hote hain na, to usme cassettes chalti thi. Now you hear cassettes of Tilawat, right? Mahir Moikhili and Sudais or others. In those days, they used to have Tilawat as well, but they used to have Qasidah Burdah as well. So बहुत दुकानों में Qasidah Burdah अरबी में चलता था. बस उसके कपलेट्स पढ़े जाते थे. और बहुत जोश खोश मोहब्बत से सब पढ़ते थे. तो एक अजीब माहौल होता था. उससे एक मोहब्बत पैदा होती थी. Love. But slowly, these Najdis, Wahhabis, Salafis, they began to say shirk, Qasidah Burdah is shirk. And they got rid of all those cassettes and Qasidah Burdah kitabs from the libraries and bookstores. And they said it's shirk. what they did by doing this is they extracted the love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the hearts of the young ones. And they're paying the price today. You go to Saudi, in Riyadh, Dammam and elsewhere, Qasim, you see their youth, they're worse than these British, our non-Muslim youths. Drugs and you name it. Gumrah ho gayi unki nasl, khatam. Because if you don't keep your youngsters connected to Rasul Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you're going to pay the price. They will drift away from the deen. They will go into ma'asi. The Imams of Haram, they're always talking about shirk, 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 tawheed, shirk, tawheed, shirk, tawheed. They don't know anything but other than shirk, tawheed. Or about other matters of deen, zina, sharab, drugs, bad habits. You should, warn people about them. And you should inculcate in them the love of Allah, the love of His Rasul, the love of ulama kiram, the love of mashayikh, sulaha, ahlullah, awliyaullah. If you don't do this, they don't have a role model in front of them. Then they will make the football stars and film stars and cinema stars and them not their role models. And they're paying the price for it now. Allah protect us and our nasal. This is why Maulana Muhim Khan Sahab has kept this program over here. So the older youth can also know Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam and stay close and attached to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the benefit of the love of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, some ishkals they do about Ya Akram al-Khalqi Mali man aluzu bihi siwaka inda hulul al-hadith al-amimi fa inna min judika ad-dunya wa dharrataha wa min ulumika ilmu al-lawhi wal-qalami. These types of ishkal on there, I've given the answer to them in the book over here. And if you read the Muqaddamah from page 15 to 35, it's all in there. I've explained the reality of it. So I'm not going to go over them. Perhaps when we come to that share, we'll think about it. But there are explanations for everything. Allama Busiri is an alim, he is a scholar, he knows what he is saying, and what is meant by what he said. If you understand it carefully, you won't have any objections on Allama Busiri rahmatullah alayhi. We have the book in front of us. Kya kahein bhai? I can't keep talking until 5 o'clock. I need some help. Maulana Imran is going to help me. He's going to read the Arabic poetry and translation, and I'll do a little bit of commentary on it. Take it? Oh, just one. This has been. नहीं देखो नहीं मैंने तो ये वो आवाज करता था इसलिए उठा दिया इसको ये टिंग टिंग होता रहता था बिस्मिल्लाह जी this Qasidah has 10 sections, 10 fusul, right? The first fasl is about ghazl and shaqw al-gharam, right? Kya kahenge? Complaint of love. What love does to a person, right? They say love is blind. But our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, love makes you deaf and blind. Can you see the difference? Love is not only blind, it makes you blind and deaf. So, they used to start their poetry with mention of women. This is called tashbeeb. But this share is about Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he can't talk about women. So he talks about, the effect of love on a person's heart. That's in the first. So he talks about remembering Medina Sharif, the mountains of Medina, the land of Medina, and the neighborhood of Medina. So yearning for the beloved. In the second section, he talks about hawa nafs. Nafsani desires. The nafs falls in love with the wrong people. This is hawa nafs. So you have to be careful. Don't fall in love with the wrong people, wrong things, wrong stuff. Because when love falls in the heart, then it's a killer. So control your nafs. Control your ego. And then in the third section, he starts with the love of Rasul Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He starts praising Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Fi madhi Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Number 4, he talks about Mawlid Sharif, the birth of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Number 5, he talks about the mu'jizat, miracles of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Number 6, he talks about the Quran, which is the greatest mu'jiza and miracle of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Number 7, he talks about Isra and Mi'raj. Sarayta min haramin laylan ila harami. And number 8, he talks about the jihad and ghazawat of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the bravery, valor, shuja'at of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And number 9, he talks about tawassul bin Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, asking Allah through the medium of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And in the 10th fasal, he talks about munajat and arzul hajat. He pleads to Allah and begs him, and he offers his need to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the 10 sections of this qasidah. We will start with al-fasl al-awwal. Baroji, al-fasl al-awwal.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. أمن تذكر جيران بذي سلمي مزجت دمعا جرى من مقلة بدمي. Is it from recollection of neighbors in Dhu Salam that you mix tears with blood as they flow from your eyes? أم حبت الريح من تلقاء كاظمة
وأومض البرق. وأومض البرق في الظل. أو هنا جاي चलिए.
وأومض البرق في الظلماء من إضمي. Or perhaps sweet breezes blowing from Kadhima's direction, or bolts of lightning that flash in the depths of Mount Idam. فما
لعينيك إن قلت اكففاها متى وما لقلبك إن قلت استفق يهمي. What ails your eyes that when you bid them cease, they weep still more? What ails your heart that when you bid it wake up, it wanders? أيحسب الصب أن الحب منكتم ما بين منسجم منه ومضطرم. Does one so flooded with love think it can be hid behind such a downpour of tears or a heart's raging fire? لولا الهوى لم ترق دمعا على طلل ولا أرقت لذكر البان والعلم. Without love's passion, you would not have wept so at the traces of your beloved's camp, nor spent sleepless nights recalling the willow and the mount. فكيف تنكر حبا بعدما شهدت به عليك عدول الدمع والسقم. How can you deny such a love when true tears and real heartbreak testify so strongly against you? وأثبت الوجد خطي عبرة وظنا مثل البهار على خديك والعنم. The sorrow of love has etched 2 salty troughs down your cheeks and branded gaunt marks upon it as pallid as yellow and blood red roses. نعم سرى طيف من أهوى فأرقني والحب يعترض اللذات بالألم. How true! In the night, the vision of one I long for came and deprived me of sleep. But love is famous for impeding pleasures and pain. يا لائمي في الهوى العذري معذرة مني إليك ولو أنصفت لم تلمي. O you who fault me for this vestal love, accept my excuse. Yet, if you judge fairly, you would find me blameless. عدتك حالي لا سري بمستتر عن الوشاة ولا دائي بمنحسم. May you never have to live like this. I cannot even keep it a secret from my critics. I am so feverish and lovesick. محضتني النصح لكن لست أسمعه إن المحب عن العذال في صمم. You have given me good advice, but I cannot hear it. A lover's ears are deaf to the outcries of love critics. إني اتهمت نصيح الشيب في عذل والشيب أبعد في نصح عن التهم. How can I listen to you? I do not even trust the counsel of grey hairs, and everyone knows that old age is guileless when it comes to good counsel. This is the first chapter, which had 12 couplets. Let's go over them again. How did he start with أمين تذكر جيران بذي سلمي مزجت دمعا جرى من مقلة بدمي. Is it that you've remembered the neighbors at Zi Salam, that you mixed your tears which flow from your eyes with blood? Zi Salam and Qazima and Idham are all places near Makkah Mukarramah, Medina Munawwara. Zu Salam is thought to be either the name of a place between Makkah and Medina near Khudai, a place closer to Or, a place closer to Medina, or a valley situated en route from Basra to Makkah. The name of this place is often used as an allusion in classical poetry to refer to a distant mythical desert, rendezvous of lovers. As for the second half of the couplet, when one has cried so much that the eyes are no longer capable of producing tears, blood begins to flow from them instead. This is used to highlight just how much he has cried upon the separation and remembrance of his beloved. जैसे कोई लव स्ट्रक हो ना, लैला मजनू की तरह है, तो लैला मजनू बस हर वक्त, इस जमाने में बहुत लैला मजनू है, बहुत है लैला मजनू. इंडियन मूवियां देख देख के लैला मजनू बन जाते हैं नालायक के. तो वो लैला मजनू, they keep on dreaming about one another, or chatting for hours at night and talking, and if something happens to they get shake, they start shaking. So he's saying that love, right, it makes you cry, it makes you weep, and when you can no longer cry, tears, you start crying blood. So is it because of that you're crying? Or أم هبت الريح من تلقاء كاظمة, some wind has blown from the side of Kazima, أو أومض البرق في الظلماء من إظمي, यहाँ सही कर लेना चाहिए, أو होना चाहिए. Or the lightning has flashed in the darkness from Mount Idham, from that side. That's what's making you cry. Then what's happened to your eyes? When you say to your eyes, stop crying, cease, they still flow more tears. And what's happened to your heart? When you say to your heart, wake up, it says, no, it still wanders. इसकी लुग़वी तहक़ीक़ तो अंदर है, वो देख लेना आप. Like إذا اشتد شوقي هام قلبي بذكره وإن رمت قربا من حبيبي تقربا. When the shock and yearning intensifies, then the heart wanders around in remembering the beloved. Then فَإِن رُمْتُ قُرْبًا مِّنْ حَبِيبِي تَقَرَّبًا, if I want to draw closer to my mahbub, he himself comes closer to me. This is in another poem. ये क्या हुआ? चलिए आगे चलो. أَيَحْسَبُ الصَّبُّ أَنَّ الْحُبَّ مُنْكَتِمٌ. Sabbun means ashiq. Does ashiq think that his love is going to be concealed, hidden, nobody will find out? ما بين منسجم منه ومضطرم, it will be hidden behind the downpour of tears or the heart's raging fire. You can't hide ishq, love. इसीलिए तुम्हारा बेटा बेटी बिल्कुल एकदम रिजर्व रहता हो, रूम में बैठा रहता हो, रोता हो, समझ जाना कुछ गड़बड़ है, पूछो वाला कोई है, तेरी कोई है तो निकाह पढ़ा देते हैं, चलो, लेकिन ये रोती मत रहो. Or if he finds or she finds someone who's compatible, suitable, and they love one another, तो निकाह करा दो. और वो क्यों परेशान करते हो? Suitable हो तो ये शर्त है, बहुत suitable for one another. शादी करा दो जल्दी. हदीस में है लम तरा लिल मुतहाब्बैन मिसल निकाह. You will not find anything like nikah for two people who like one another. If they like one another, निकाह करा दो. निकाह से फिर मोहब्बत बढ़ेगी, मोहब्बत में इजाफा होगा, फिर अच्छी तरह वो जिंदगी गुजारना शुरू कर देंगे. लेकिन परेशान मत करो अपने बच्चों को, रुलाओ मत. तो ये है लौलल हवा लम तुरिक दमअन अला तललिन. Without love's passion, you would not shed tears on the traces of your beloved's camp, nor would you have spent sleepless night upon remembering the willow and the mount. Ban शायद बांस की लकड़ी उधर की चीजें, और आलम मीन्स माउंटेन, वहाँ के जो पहाड़ हैं, तो उन पहाड़ों को और वहाँ के गार्डन्स वगैरह को याद करके you would not have begun to weep. You are weeping because there is some reason behind it. Now over here the word lam turiq has come. So I quoted over here the poetry of Abu Sufyan, which I recited upon the death of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can read it there with translation. Ariqtu fabata layli la yazulu wa laylu akhil musibati fihi tulu wa as'adani al-buka'u wa dhaka fima أصيب به المسلمون قليل فقد عظمت مصيبتنا وجلت عشية قيل قد قبض الرسول فقدنا الوحي والتنزيل فينا يروح به ويغدو جبرائيل إلى آخره. We move on to number 6. He says, how can you deny such love when you have two testifiers? One is the reliable testimony of your tears and the illness and sickness which is within you. So they are both reliable, adil, and they are testifying against you. So you can't hide your love. It's come out now. Everybody knows. Layla Majnoon's love was not hidden. Everybody knew why Majnoon is in this pitiful state. That because he is in love with Layla. So love never remains hidden. It always comes out. وَأَثْبَتَ الْوَجْدُ, the sorrow of love has etched two salty troughs down your cheeks. خَطَّيْ عَبْرَةٍ وَضَنَا. When you cry a lot, तो यहाँ दोनों साइड पर दो लाइन पड़ जाती है, काली काली, पता चलता है कि आदमी बहुत रोता है. तो ये जो दो लाइन पड़ गई हैं, निशान, so the निशान is testifying that you cry a lot. भले तन्हाई में चुपचाप से बेडरूम में चुप कर, तो it's kept that on your cheeks. मिसल al-bahari, like क्या लिखा है इसका, and branded gaunt marks upon it as pallid as yellow and blood red roses. ala khaddayka wal anam, bahar and anam, bahar yellow roses and blood red roses, anam. نعم سرى طيف من أهوى فأرقني. Yes, how true. In the night, a vision of the one I longed for came and deprived me of sleep. ख्वाब आ गया, वो ख्वाब जो है वो मुझे रुला गया. ख्वाब देखा, उनकी ज़ियारत हुई, तो उठते ही मेरे टिप 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 आंसू शुरू हो गए. वल्हुब्बु यातरिदु लज़्ज़ाति बिल अलमी. हाँ, love, it becomes a barrier between pleasures by giving you pain. Right? Sometimes you sit down to eat some nice delicious food, but then suddenly you remember someone who you love, they've passed away, they've died, and your tabiyat becomes such that you don't feel like eating and you leave the food. So love brings pain and forms a barrier between you and your lazzat and your pleasure. Ya la'imi fil hawal uzri ma'ziratan. Why are you blaming me in my uzri love? Uzri love, isko humne samjhaya hai, Qabile Banu Uzra. They were very strong in their love for one another. So that's why strong love is described as al-hawal uzri, uzri love, like those of Banu Uzra. Ma'ziratan minni ilayka, ma'zirat from me to you, excuse me, accept my reasoning in my love, don't blame me. Oh, the one who blames me for my uzri love, I'm putting my excuse to you. وَلَوْ أَنصَفْتَ لَوْ تَلُمِي. If you had insaf and justice, you would not blame me in my love. عَدَدْ كَحَالِي. My hal has reached you. Ada ya'lu means to travel, to exceed. So it's exceeded to you. It's been exposed to you. It's come to you. You found out. So my hal, my condition has come to you. La sidri bi mustatidin anil wushati. My secret cannot be concealed from wushat, from tail bearers. Wushat, from washayashi, washi, chugli karna. So चुगलखोर होता है ना, वो जल्दी से जाके बता देता है. अगर कोई बात शहर में फैलानी हो तो चुगलखोर को कह दो, जल्दी से बीबीसी न्यूज की तरह फैल जाएगी. तो my condition is not hidden from these chughalkhors and tail bearers. They know and they spread my condition around everywhere. Wala da'i bimunhasimi, and my bimari and sickness is not going to stop. Mahazdanin nusha lakin lastu asma'uhu. You sat me down, you gave me some mukhlis advice. That by don't fall in love, don't do this, don't do that. It's no good. Have mercy on yourself. Right? Like Majnoon. People used to tell Majnoon, bhai, eat some food, khana khao, gusso. You don't eat, you don't sleep, and look how pale you are skinny like a, marchu, matchstick. You don't eat anything, you're so pale, you don't sleep. So they sat him down and gave him some nasihat, but in one ear, out the other ear. Those who fall in love, they never listen to nasihat. This is why Abu Muslim al-Khawlani, rahmatullahi alayhi, who is among the tabi'een, he addressed the elders of the community. He said, अपने जवानों की शादियां जल्दी कराओ, क्योंकि शहवत के कोई कान नहीं है जो नसीहत सुने. शहवत doesn't have ears to listen to नसीहत. अगर शहवत पैदा हो गई, किसी के साथ ये गड़बड़ सरबड़ हो गई, आप उसको बिठाओगे, नसीहत करोगे, ये समझाओगे, एक कान से नसीहत गई, दूसरे से निकल गई. It won't go down in the heart. तो इसलिए बच्चों का ख्याल करो. अबू मुस्लिम खुलानी said this. He is saying over here as well, Mahaftanin nushalakin lastu asma'u. You giving me mukhlis advice, but I can't hear it. Because innal muhibba anil uzzali fi samami, the one who loves someone is deaf from those who criticize him and blame him, from the critics. वो किसी की सुनता नहीं है, वो तो अपने मस्त और मगन रहता है. मजनू का बाप जो है उसको बहुत मारता था. ये तो बीती बाप, ये क्या लेला लेला हड़ो करना, कोई काम धंधा करता है ना, जॉब करता है ना, कोई बिजनेस करता है, बस लेला लेला लेला. मगर वो he couldn't stop. In fact, over here as well, there was this poet in the 18th century in Britain. His father didn't like him singing poetry, but he was in love with poetry. He would keep singing poetry. So one day he was a natural poet. The best poets are the natural ones. So he was a natural poet, and he was singing some poetry. His father saw him. His father took one slipper or shoe and came and started beating him up. Hey, Nalayak, I've told you not to compose poetry. Always singing poetry. Share. Dimag kharab hai tera. And he was being beaten up. And he was saying, Father, Father, mercy take. No more verses shall I make. So even when he's getting that beating, he's composing a couplet. Father, Father, mercy take. No more verses shall I make. So his father said, "Ye to pagal hai. Chodo isko." He left him to his state. So when you have some muhabbat and love for something, someone blames you, tries to stop you, you're not going to stop. So love, it hurts. And love जो है वो तुमको अजीब कैफियत कर देता है. This is why إني اتهمت نصيح الشيب في عزل والشيب أبعد في نصح عن التهم. He says, How can I listen to you? I did not even listen to the counsel of grey hairs. Meaning, my hair have turned grey. And this is nasihat. बाल सफेद हो जाएं तो ये नसीहत है कि बस अब गुनाह बंद करो यार, अब गुनाह नहीं करने का, अब तो कब्र में पांव लटक रहे हैं, तैयारी करो आखिरत की. तो ये सफेद बाल से ज्यादा अच्छी नसीहत किसी की होगी? Who is the best नसीहत? सफेद बाल. Right? One बुजुर्ग looked in the mirror and he saw some grey hair and he said, oh, Nazir आ गया. Nazir means warner. अवलम नुअम्मिरकुम मा यतज़क्करु फीहि मन तज़क्कर वजाअकुमुन नज़ीर. नज़ीर की 3 तफसीर है, 3 तफसीर. Number 1, an-Nazir al-Quran. Number 2, an-Nazir Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And number 3 tafsir is grey hair. So when your grey hair appear, you should stop. It's a warner. So he looked in the mirror and he said, oh, warning is here. Now, no, nothing else but akhirat. And he exerted himself in ibadat and worship. So he said, you know, I did not even trust my grey hair in their nasihat. How am I going to trust you? وَالشَّيْبُ أَبْعَدُ فِي نُصْحٍ عَنِ التُّهَمِ. The white hair are the furthest away in their nasihat from tuhmat and being accused and blamed. So when I did not listen to it, how am I going to listen to you? Leave me and my ishq and my muhabbat and love. First chapter is finished. We'll continue with the next chapter, selflessness lamented, in the next lesson inshallah. अभी अजान का टाइम हो रहा है, 2 बजे नमाज है, 1:45 बजे अजान होगी इंशाल्लाह. वुजू कर लो जिनको करना है, नमाज की तैयारी कर लो. We'll continue after namaz inshallah.
Straight after salah inshallah we will continue.
कुछ खाना पीना नहीं खिलाओगे सबको?
वो breakfast
अच्छा, ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा. अच्छा, I forgot to mention, ये जो हमने ये जो Qasidah Burdah है, we had a course for this some time ago in Bolton. That was recorded and transcribed. And then it was edited by my friend Maulana Umar Anwar Saheb and his brother Maulana Zakaria Anwar Saheb. Now Maulana Anwar Saheb, Umar Anwar Saheb is an English teacher in Bolton College. Why am I saying this? Because इतने high level की English है, मेरी भी समझ नहीं पड़ती है, इसलिए मैं इसका सीधा साधा तर्जुमा कर रहा हूँ. उन्होंने बहुत beautiful कर दिया इसको. He gave it a facelift. बहुत मेहनत की. He worked really hard on it. Allah Pak reward him. So I just delivered the course, and Maulana did all the editing, referencing, finding all the reference to the hadith. It's hard work. So Maulana Umar Anwar Saheb, may Allah reward him for his effort. It's all his hard work. And my friend Maulana Bilal Ishaq Ji Saheb, who's out there, he's done a lot of work behind it as well. He's behind the scenes. He helped out in page setting and publishing and everything. Allah reward him as well. ठीक है, फिर नमाज बात पढ़ेंगे. अस्सलाम वालेकुम.